all, welcome to Enniscorthy Coursing Club, the home of Billy Keogh. And Billy, today we're going to visit him and have a look at his Irish Cup winner, Carricktobin Lad. Billy, you've a long time involved with greyhounds. I know over the last number of years you've been racing track dogs. Could you tell me, how did you actually get started in your interest in the dogs?
Sure, Dan and I was born and reared in dogs. From every time I was 5 or 6 years of age, I was always around dogs. And I remember being a child down in my father and mother's backyard, and a bitch after pupping, and within a few weeks you'd be out in the backyard with them, and they'd be jumping on you and kicking you and falling on you, and you'd be running in the door and they'd be pulling on you, and so we were born and reared them.
And that's really where your interest started in dogs, though?
Started all my life in dogs. Started from there, got me on a little pup first and messed around with that, and then stopped for a while. And the father was always in greyhounds all his life. He worked for Paddy Doyle for years with a bookmaker. He had his own business one time as a bookie in his early days.
Right.
And he always continued to love the track and the coursing, and he was at it for years. He used to work for the late John Hoare there as a bookie from Wexford. He worked for Paddy Doyle, the late Paddy Doyle, and for years. And Monday and Thursday was every night in Enniscorthy from the time we were 8 or 9 years of age. We go to the track. Tuesday and Friday we go to Kilkenny, and then we had, I think it was Saturday night we used to go down to Waterford, and Tuesday night or something.
So every night basically you were
5 nights a week we would
were racing 5 nights a week
with the bookmakers. And I used to do a little bit of running then for late Paddy Doyle's brother John Doyle, and I used to lay off a few bets for him in Kilkenny and that when I was small, and I learned how to mark the book for the bookies and started from that, and used to go 5 nights a week and got into the greyhounds and never really got home. Started with mongrels then and went to done a lot of flapping with chaps and hunting and flapping 3 or 4 nights a week, and got that and got the love of the dogs then, and could never get home.
I suppose when you moved here, you're 5 or 6 years here at this house?
Yeah, I'm into my 6th year here now at this house.
You built your own kennels here then and took in your own dogs?
Well, I had in the previous house we lived in, there was always a kennel there, and I built on a small few down there and worked from there, and never had really much luck. All the greyhounds I ever got was reared, and they got reared very well, and just very unlucky with most of them now, and put in a lot of money, effort all my life, worked all my life, put in a lot of money into dogs, nothing ever come back, and it was a rainy day every day for me.
And I suppose predominantly you went out every other year, picked out a couple of saplings or picked out a couple of pups, invested in a couple of pups,
every year,
reared them, brought them on.
Every year I'd have my eye on something, and I go on, I buy every year and I get them reared, and I got them reared with people done their best for me in the whole lot, but just unlucky to get injured, and that was it. Most of them got injured, most of them didn't. Some of them were no good, some of them were very good. Had great sport every night in the track, win or lose, I always enjoyed it.
There's a great atmosphere alright in the track, and I suppose anyone who's involved...
is a brilliant track. Brilliant track, and great atmosphere and a great buzz, and a great bit of excitement going up to the night on the night, like you're going to have a few pound on a dog and getting them ready for maybe 2 months and watching who you can cod and who they can cod you, and that's it.
Doesn't always work out?
Doesn't always work out. Hit a lot of bombs in my life, a lot of money on dogs, went down the hill, but sure, you get over it after a couple of hours.
And I suppose getting into the coursing end of it, what attracted you to coursing, or what attracted you, or what gave you the...
Well, the coursing was always an Enniscorthy dog track, at the back of Enniscorthy dog track. We were knee height, every little chap in the town went up there the day of the coursing and went into it. And it was there for years, and we grew up there, and I remember Owen McKenna, and Owen was only that size. I don't know what age Owen is, I'm 44. But I remember being looking down on Owen, and he running around the field and he putting his hand up after a dog winning, catching for his father. And he was only a school chap. Now, from then on, we never had the money for a coursing dog. You couldn't have anything. You'd go up and you'd be looking into the vans and watching the boys rubbing the dogs and smelling the rubbing a drop of soap if you're lucky to get a drop going around. It was a great day out for everyone. Now we've moved to Woodlands in Enniscorthy, a much better place, a better field, safe hares. The hares are a lot better done. They're minded, they're done to the best. It gets full of everything. They're treated like children out there.
And I suppose with the hares then, and bringing it on to Enniscorthy Coursing Club, you've been a hare hunter for how many years now? How long have you been hunting hares with the club?
Hunting on and off, sure, when you'd be working you wouldn't have much time to go, and you'd try and do your best to get out Saturday and Sunday, and if you're dogs, you have to get up in the dark and home. You have to be on the ball for 9:30 or 9 o'clock. We'd hit off sharp there, and we do a hunt there at 4 o'clock in the day. And you come back then, and sure, when we were only chaps, so we'd be hunting with the boys, you'd be brought into Donoghue's pub, and you'd be well looked after. You get a few bottles of orange and a couple of old bags of potato, and you listen to the airs.
And it kept the whole thing going. The kids wanted to go back out hunting, and
oh, sure, it was great. Sure, everyone of us wanted to go over Sunday and all, and then sure we started catching ourselves, and we bring the hares onto the club there. We'd ask the club when they get their licence, sure we go ourselves there tonight and we catch a few fish and deliver them.
I think moving on then from that, with your involvement as a hare catcher, you took up the position as slip steward. Is it 4 years ago now you took up the position?
3 or 4 years ago I was asked to do it, and I took the role of honour down it and got on very well at it, no problems, and it's a great place to be in Enniscorthy Coursing Club. A great atmosphere.
I think though when you're down at the slips probably and you see the men coming with their dogs into slips and you look at the dogs coming out and going up, it'd really give you a grow to have one yourself to be bringing to slips.
Well, it would and it wouldn't, because there's times you see dogs and they wouldn't be worth bringing out to a coursing field because they wouldn't be trained right.
Right,
and you'd be saying, where are they going with these dogs?
Right.
And there's times you come out and you see a good dog going up and you know, you watch dogs going up for a couple of years up a coursing field. You get an eye for picking the dog. And you could nearly tell what's going to win the prize there.
And is it down to the stature of the dog, the size, the stand of the dog, the weight of the dog, or would you look more at the end of it?
I like a dog that stays as he in slips. He dig his feet in from A1 from time the hare left the run. If I blow the whistle, the hare will come out. You see dogs reacting. A dog that goes mad in slips is only wasting his time because he's burning up all his energy. A dog that stay calm, watch the hare coming out, a good eye for a hare, and eye the hare well up the field. He's a dog you go well.
So you chose then at the end of the 2011-2012 season, I suppose some say that your motive was you were fed up getting bet in the duffers out in Enniscorthy with your track dogs, that you were going to buy a second season dog to make sure you won the duffer out in Enniscorthy. Would that have been your motivation, or is that just a myth?
No, it's only a myth because I always put an old track bitch in or whatever I'd have into a duffer. I think it was only 1 or 2 duffers. I had no real interest in putting one in. There'd be only a bit of gas between the hare catchers and ourselves. And after a while I said I wouldn't get a coursing hound. I said I was getting fed up with too many track injuries. So I said eventually I'll get one, and says I watched the papers next year, and says I watched the computer and didn't bother, and the following year I watched it.
So you were looking on Greyhound data, Billy, and you saw an advertisement for the dog.
He was Hollyoak Shaggy, and he was down in Golden Tipperary with Rachel, as I say, and I rang her and she said he was for sale, so I went down to have a look at the dog, and I looked at the dog and I thought he was a lovely looking dog. He really appealed to me. He was by Kingsmill Dynamo over Hollyoak's Pegasus, a really good backline by a super dog. There was trial stake winners on it. It was actually, I think there weren't a cup winner on it at the time. There was trial stake winners on it, and this dog was very unlucky in running, she told me, and that he had got a grueling somewhere down the country. And he had seen previously, he was to run in Wexford and he had coughed and they didn't run him. So I liked the dog and I purchased the dog off Rachel. He was in brilliant nick when I got him.
So Billy, you collected the dog down in Golden off of Rachel. How did you get in, or how long did it take you before you got into your training regime with him?
Well, I had him here a week and I brought him down to Ray. I had a couple of track dogs going down to Ray's, and Ray Cuddy, the vet in Wexford, and I threw the shaggy dog in with the dogs and I brought him on down and got all clear on him and on a few track dogs, and I was happy. So I hit the road straight away. I said, this is it now, we're starting today for Liscannor. Had him real fit for Liscannor, and he got a cough, and I had to stop after the cough then, and he held me up 6 weeks, the dog. So I kept him walking 8.5 miles a day when he had a cough. So when he came over, he was reasonably fit, I thought. But I brought him back down then on a Friday. I got about 6 or 8 gallops into him, and I brought him back down then to Ray, and his blood was 58. And Ray said give him 1 or 2 runs and see how we come out with in Waterford. So I brought him to Waterford, and I entered him in the all-age stake in Waterford, in the
Urbs and Tactica.
Urbs and Tactica. And dog ran really well in the first, second round. And I rang Ray and I asked him, I said, what do you think? He said, if you want to go ahead on with him. I said, the dog is fresh to daisy. So I can't believe it. He said, run away. And sure, he went on and he won the house. In fine fashion. He was 17 to 20 spots faster than any dog in the field the first day.
He certainly looked very impressive in the first round. I think he turned a few heads down in Waterford on the first day.
Yeah, he did, surely did. He was 10 to 1 opening and he dropped to 5 to 1 immediately.
I think it laid down a good marker really, because he was a lot faster than anything else on the day, and the Oaks winner from Clonmel came off of the same field, so it laid down a good marker for how the rest of your season was going to go.
Smart Daddy, like, she went on, she won the Oaks, like, you know. But I knew when I was in the quarter final, dog got hurt. I won't call him Hollyoak Shaggy, I call him Carricktobin Lad now. But he done a tendon in the quarter final, and he got a real bad hip muscle. And I worked on that overnight, and the dog carried on and went on and won the final. So the next day I brought him back here and I brought him down to Ray, and I showed Ray, said this dog is injured, and Ray said, Billy, we'll have to pin fire, he said straight away. So he said either that, no, he said you could do a different job with the toe, he said, but I would sooner prefer to pin fire. I said, Ray, you're the boss, you pin fire the toe. So Ray pin fired the toe anyway, and he was off a good way with the toe, and we found another niggle in his back muscle then in his hip. So the dog was going to be off 5-6 weeks, and I'd run into a lot more after. I went into about 7-8 weeks. So I was going out for Temple Toy, and it was £4,000 stake there. So I said I'd sit back and take me chance. I said, well, I'd wait and see now what's going to happen. And I was wondering about Clonmel and the champion stakes and everything. Everyone was saying, when is he going to run again and all. So I said, make up your mind now, said I to myself, and do what you want to do. So I said to myself, will I go for the big one? I said, maybe sway out, but if the dog got a bit of time on his side, he could be anything. His blood was only 58. He wasn't right going down for Durban tactics. He came out 17-20 spots faster than any dog in the field. This dog could be the dog. So I sat back, took my time with him, got him back right. Now Jimmy Conley is a good friend of mine. We were on the road 8.5 miles every day, 8.7 miles, some days 9, and we could go 5 in the evening as well with him. The dog didn't know what was wrong with him, but he loved every minute of it.
Yeah.
So I said, it's good for the goose, it's good for the gander. So we got the dog back right, and we timed the toe T before we went to Limerick. We got the dog back, and we worked him hard and very hard on the gallops. We worked him some days, 7 days a week.
And I suppose with the galloping end of it, you had the road work into him over the summer months, so he had a good level of fitness coming into the season. Good level of
fitness, yeah.
And then you start galloping. Now I know you're.
He had about 150 or 60 miles just alone in training, just for the Irish Cup.
That's since coming back from his Waterford injury.
Oh yeah. We walked him about 150, 160 miles. We were at him every day, and if I weren't here, Jimmy would go.
And your galloping regime then, I think you were using a gallop out in Woodlands?
Yeah, we used Jay Codd's gallop out there in Woodlands. It's a lovely 350 yards gallop. Lovely incline on it. Mind it very well. Great place to gallop a dog.
Yeah, Jay done a lot of work there. It was 2 years ago, he put in a piece, grass gallop.
The gallop is open since July 2012. It's a 350 yard gallop with an uphill pull. It was based on a gallop I'd seen in Paddy Sinnett's up in Kilkenny. Paddy has the Blackstone prefix up there. Basically, it was put in, it's mainly with a peat topsoil. There was no major drainage done or anything else like that on it. The soil was got ready, the seedbed was got ready as if we were sowing grass seed on the soil. It was levelled, de-stoned. Then there was 4 to 5 inches of peat put on top, and that was rolled, grass seed put on top, and that's basically the way the gallop was formed. There was no drainage or anything else. The land here is very shingly, so there was no drainage needed. Included in the dogs using the gallop are mainly track dogs, but with a few coursing dogs involved. We have 4 tri-stake winners off it this year, namely Cahir's Mary. She won the Reserve Oaks in Gorey this year. Shilling Alonso, who won the first ever 64 dog trial stake in Enniscorthy this year, who went on to run up the Keane Laddie Stakes. Also Wyken Power, who won the trial stake in Wexford meeting this year, who went on to beat Shilling Alonso in the final of the Keane Laddie in Clonmel. Also we had Gary Secret, who went to the quarter final of the Oaks in Clonmel this year also. And to top everything off then we had Carricktobin Lad, of course, who won the Urberson Tacta in Waterford on his way to winning the Irish Cup. So I presume from a small field of coursing dogs going up the gallop, it has worked out very well.
So Billy, after the months of hard work anyway, you eventually got yourself down into Limerick, where you got your nomination and you went down. If you just want to talk us through the first round, I think there was a little bit of nerves on the first round. Would you just want to tell us about that?
Yeah, it was a close call. I only won the neck there in the first round. The hare went up the stand side and the dog went onto him, flying onto him, and he was well ahead. And the hare turned then, crossed before the dog reached, and went across the far side of the field. Another dog come up the middle, called him now, come up the middle of the field, and my dog had to turn from the stand side out across the field. And with determination, he really put it down to get in for the first turn and just lifted it by a neck.
So he got over the first round by the neck, and I think from there then we're looking at, I won't say plain sailing, but he was convincing in every round.
He got better in every round and he improved tremendously right throughout. And sure, he went from round to round and he beat Bar Sanders in the second round and he looked really impressive after that. And everything looked in order then. I said to myself, sure, we might have a little chance of picking up another one. And we went on then, I think it was Hopes and Dreams in the third. And he bet Hopes and Dreams in the third. I said, this dog can win this Irish Cup.
And I think, I suppose, on the that'll be bringing us up onto the last day, and I suppose going in onto the last day you were coming up against Killamore Matey, which would have been in himself a very, very impressive dog over the years, so that was a big test.
And he was last year's winner, and I think he was runner up the year before. Yeah, it was a big call for my dog to take this fella down, like, and everyone said you could do it, like, and I started thinking, I said, sure, maybe you will do it. And sure, as it happens, he beat him, and I said, sure, this could be the Irish Cup winner now.
Once you got that hurdle over, I suppose bookies and people in attendance started looking at your dog as a real contender to lift the cup, and I think at that point you went into you were made favourite.
Well, I probably made favourite, but the owner of the Kingsmill Dynamo dog, John Roach, and Aidan Roach told me after the first round this dog will win the Irish Cup. He's as good as the dog we've seen in a long, long time. And John went down, I think, after the second round, and he had a lot of money into that, 16 to 1. So I was very impressed with the dog. I knew he was getting stronger every day, which I shouldn't come with it. The stamina stayed to him, like, you know, with all the work and everything. And I think he got a bad tumble in the quarters. I didn't actually see it now because I was at the bottom of the field, but I heard the cheer of the crowd, and then I heard the ooh, and I knew he was gone over then. And he got a big bad tumble. He tumbled over a couple of times.
I think that was in the third round. That was on the Saturday evening, was it?
Yeah, I think it was, yeah. And I said, if you come off this sound now, I said, I'll have a chance. And he came off sound. I think the walking stood to him with a tumble, like, because he was as hard as that table.
I think for myself, I think the semi-final to me was his most impressive run. I thought the dog was gliding across the ground going up in the semi-final. Oh,
sure. He was a different dog when he came out. I brought him home here and I freshened him up with a nice wash after his tumble. We washed him down in head and shoulders and gave him a nice freshen up. We gave him, toweled him down, and he came out real fresh the next morning. I said, we have it all to do, and I said to Jimmy, we'll take our chance now, we're going down here. If we do it, we do it, and we don't, we don't. We're in the money.
Whatever happens
is going to happen. I said, but we have money under our belt now. Dog is proven, he's after beating some of the best dogs here. We'll go for gold.
I think, Billy, there's a fantastic photograph of you in the Sporting Press walking your dogs to slips for the finals. And you can see the pressure in your face. What was going through your mind walking to slips?
Well, I was going to slips. Jimmy had said to me all day, keep her head high. We might knock this one off. So my mother passed away there in November, and she was a great influence on me for the dogs. When you could be in bad form and tired, she said, go on to the road, keep going.
Mm-hmm.
If you look after a dog will look after you. So I said, this is for my mother.
Mm-hmm.
I said, she's looking down on me now. I said, this is the last thing, say, win or lose.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And prevailed anyway. I went into slips, very nervous going into slips. And I said, when I got in and took the blade off the dog, I just went numb, and I said, ma'am, this is for you. And sure, he came out with slips fairly well, and that was that.
I suppose, and bombed up the field, led very quickly, and was running away at the top of the field.
Takes a while when he hits.
4 or 5 lengths.
Takes a time. When he leaves slips. He's a great dog in slips. He never gets excited. He looks left, right, left, right. He's on a hair. Great dog to line the hair going out. Hit the ground. Mighty power away. Then he takes time to hit the ground, but when he do hit the ground, it's hell for leather.
Mm-hmm.
And when he struck then up the field, I said to myself, are you there or are you not? And next minute he kicked on, and I said, that's it.
Mm-hmm.
So I think I have it. And I think Tactabamba put up a great final time.
Mm-hmm.
No, he didn't actually pick him up going up the field or anything, but in Tactabamba he ran down in Mooncoin, and I liked the pup from the first time I seen him. I actually said to Jimmy, I said, that dog, I said, that fella could go well in the Irish Cup if he's in it.
Mm-hmm.
And he appeared in it, and he went to the final.
Mm-hmm.
And mine was a fresh dog too coming, and that's the way it worked.
And when eventually the dog hit the top of the field and you saw the judge's flag coming out, what was the
But I
feeling?
heard the cheer halfway.
You knew the Wexford supporters
the Wexford supporters were there all over the place, and I knew when he hit the front, that was it. There was a lot of money put on the dog in different places, small money. And I had a bet on the dog myself for €100. At 36 to 1 I got.
But the cheer, I suppose, with all the Wexford boys, I think they were roaring Pogo more than they were roaring for the dog.
Oh yeah, they were roaring for me, and
Pogo would be the name that you'd be known by around here, wouldn't it?
I would, yeah. I mean, the Pogo would be the man I'm working. That heavy is. I've been on everywhere as that, but sure, like when the dog hit the front, when I hit the chair, sure, I just came back down again. I came back down. I said, "There's a belief or not?" And I didn't think of the €80,000 at the end of it. The money never really come into it for such. We knew we were into 2,000, and then we were into 8,000, and if we hit the semi-final, we had 23,000. And sure, it was just that cup there. That means the world to me and to my mother to win it, my father.
Mm-hmm.
You're trying all your life to get a dog to go down to win that cup, and eventually we got there. It might have been a fluke to get there, but I don't think it was, because the dog had great potential from time of bottom.
Mm-hmm.
And I looked after him well. Jimmy worked the dog inside out with me. There was days here, there was dogs here, hurt it here, and another dog go down, hurt it, and we do a hock or we do a shoulder. There was only one dog here, and that was Carricktobin. And he'd look at me, I look at him, and he said, come on, the two of us fucking may go.
We'd have to go walking him anyway, regardless.
Yeah, and the two of us would go off there at 5 o'clock in the evenings after work, or here we'd be all day, and we could be back at 9 o'clock at night in the dark. We'd go walk in the dark.
They were getting a bed ready for you down in St. Helens at one point.
We knew there was only really one chance then with this dog. This we were going to put every effort into him. And Jimmy was a great man to push me to keep me going. Because when I was getting tired, he was starting to kick on.
Well, I suppose the old saying is one man and his dog, but in this situation it's two men and their dog, really, isn't it?
2 men and their dog, sure. Like Jimmy, I wouldn't have won the thing only for Jimmy. Jimmy is here. If I was working, Jimmy is here. Mm-hmm. Jimmy is out the road. He's seen well. The dog is known on the road more than any other dog in the country. The cars will be beeping every day in the week. One or another will be on the road with him.
We spotted you there earlier on today as we were coming here before we came here to meet you. We spotted you out the road going through your paces again, and we said we'd go out and spy to see is it true, but
Jimmy wouldn't allow me to rest. He said no. I said sure, look, the dog is used to walking, so come on, we'll get going again.
We were looking at the dog earlier, Billy, and it was phenomenal how fresh. He's only, what are we now, 4 days since the final, is it?
Yeah.
The dog looks like he could nearly go to a course and meeting this weekend.
Well, he went to a bitch there yesterday. He was bred to a bitch.
What's the breeding of the bitch that the dog went to during the week?
Oh, she's Bexley alone we are.
And who owns her, or who's?
Keogh Woodlands, where I used the gallop there, he have the bitch out there. I bought a dog there last year from their pup, and
out of the same bitch?
Oh, the same bitch, and he's out there in the kennel. He was a bit unlucky. He ran up he went in the first trial stake in Mooncoin, and he was beaten just about a half a length into the hair and by a dog that won a reserve trial stake. And he went on side us down in Seven Houses, and he broke a bone in his leg after that. But I brought back to the same bitch with me on dog. I like Jay's bitch an awful lot, and I just gave him the service to the bitch. I gave him, and that's it. He won't breed anymore this year now.
So, Pogo, at this stage, or Billy, at this stage, have you any plans for next season with the dog, or what are you thinking at the moment?
As such now, I'm going to lay him off now for the rest of the summer, give him a rest, sit back, have a good think about it, and I might bring him back to win one or two more cups next year and try and get to the champion stakes with him, or I might go back and defend the title for this baby here. And if I do, I'd like Brian Tansey to be sponsoring me there again, their nominator, and he's after winning it twice. He's actually been very lucky.
So he's had he's nominated twice for the Irish Cup.
Yes, he's had two previous winners now, and if he nominate me next year, he might have a third one.
That'd be fantastic.
That'd be brilliant, yeah.
That'd be definitely the
icing on the cake. That's lucky enough to win it, of course.
Yeah, we had a look around your kennels earlier, Billy. I have to say they're immaculate, spotless out there. Could you tell me a bit about the effort that went into getting them?
There was a lot of effort going into the kennels. Like, I came here to this house first. I had not only a mucky backyard, and I had to build up a kennel out there, and got a few blocks and bricks here and everything, and started from there and got going again. So I knocked it down again and I rebuilt it. I had a man here give me a great hand, Andy Pettigrew. He was here with me night and day. We put up doors, put the roof on. I had to re-roof it. It cost a lot of money to get it done. I took a couple of years to get it right. Got in my kennel, took one thing at a time, and I went from there.
But I think the thing about it is you have just a small area, but you have it laid out very effectively. You've concreted out, you've roofed over your pens, you've covered in pens for the dogs to water and clean out. You have, I'm just looking there, the comfort. You have heat lamps over their beds for the winter, and you have fans up on the walls for the summertime to keep them cool, and there's a lot of work gone into it.
Yeah, for the last 8 or 9 weeks there over Carricktobin Lad, he had a cover and he had a heat lamp on him every night. And every morning he'd nearly eat a half a jar of honey in the morning out of your hand. And
I see there as well, I suppose your food preparation area, you went to the expense, you've all fitted out stainless steel sinks, worktops, yeah, stainless steel out there, and nothing heavy gates and all out there. Like, it all cost a lot of money. Like, it was £1,000 there for 5 gates and all. Like, this game cost a lot of money. It does, and I suppose the only benefit with having it done the way you have it done is that it's very quick to clean down. It's power hose down. You have your beds, concreted beds out, and you have everything that can be just easy to wash down. Your walls are painted, your gates are dipped galvanised. Everything is just to the touch, wiped down, clean.
It's a touch wiped down clean now, but I decided I was going to put in cement benches under the dogs and different stuff in the benches, and I realised when we had it done they didn't like it. And I changed back to the timber on top of the cement, which is very good.
Yeah.
And you go there, look, I come home from work some morning 6 o'clock, and it could be black dark here, so I just open the kennel up in the morning, open up the doors, allow the dogs to clean. That's grand. If it's raining, it's brilliant. The dogs can go in and out. Steadily after racing in the track, you can come home, let them out, do a bit of wiggling and in and out, then you can wash their feet out there and you can rub them down out there. And it's really handy, because it's only to make things handy for yourself. Because if you have to go out into a field at night time or early in the morning at 5 o'clock, you don't know whether you're walking on glass or anything. So I built a hon out there just for me own little bit of
for comfort and make it work easily as well.
Yeah, well, if I'm not here during the day, Pauline can out the dogs, or Jimmy's here, he can out the dogs. If it's lashing rain here, the dogs are out there all day.
They can get out into the air and they're out and they're covered in.
And you can stand with them and watch with them, and they can clean out handy. And you have to make everything handy for yourself at this life.
I suppose there was a huge effort went into the fitness of the dogs from the point of view of the walking and the galloping, and I know you're a regular, you'll constantly vet your dogs and making sure they're in peak condition. But as for feeding, what would be your feeding regime? I know some men like feeding morning time, evening time, breakfast, dinners. Are you one feed, or what way do you work it out with the dogs?
Well, in the morning, I'd always I'd feed Weetabix in the morning there, and I'd feed give Whitey and I give a bit of iron silling and, well, not more, I give iron silling in the evening meal. And I give them an oak of honey there and all in the morning, just the dogs, the usual general breakfast like. And then I'd feed around, maybe around 7 at night.
Right.
I'd use racer at night time, Red Mills racer, and I'd use a bit of brown bread, plenty of vegetables. And some evenings it could be a bit of liver if I want to get the dog's blood up. I use chicken then sometimes before a competition.
But as from, like, I mean, you certainly put great effort into the dog's fitness. From the exercise regime, how important is feeding, would you think?
Feeding is 100% important. Have to be, you have to get the best of everything. The dog have to get, I used to laugh when I used to read up about other people over in England and all what they're feeding dogs and this, that and the other, and I laughed, but I realised eventually you have to put it in to get it out. And I put it in, there was times there was no food on the table in here, but it was in the dog kennel. I'm not ashamed to say it. I went hungry myself to feed dogs. And that's life, because if you don't put it in, you won't get out. At least I could knock the next door, the neighbour's door if I got a bit hungry. The dogs can knock no one's door.
So definitely putting the food into the dog.
The kennel have to get it first, and that you'll worry about yourself later.
And I think I suppose with the cup, and I know you were saying that winning the Irish Cup, it was the cup that meant most to you, but I suppose the financial reward too, it kind of justifies all the expense and all the expenditure that you've put into greyhounds over the last 20 odd years, or nearly 30 years at this stage.
I'm sure. Look, you never get, if you go into a sport, you go into it for the sport. You won't go into it for money. I went into it for money and I got a kick in the bum. There's no money in greyhounds, lads, only for the sport. There's a cup and I'm after winning €80,000. I didn't go down to win the 80,000. I know the money was a bonus, but I only believed that I wanted the cup. No, the money, and the money comes, it comes with it. But it was really only for to win this cup, and this cup here meant an awful lot to me as well. To my first cup ever to go into a field and take it home, my first dog. Now after winning 10 on the bounce now, 10 flags after riding with this dog. And
10 courses this year and 10 wins.
10 wins straight on the bounce. And this dog, they wouldn't be there only for him.
But I think in fairness you can't take away a right the dog has achieved it, but you can't lessen your own I suppose role in it, that if you didn't put the effort in, if you didn't put the walking in, if you didn't spend your last few pounds to feed the dog, he wouldn't have been winning them.
Well, I take that way in a way, yeah, but like I'd be lost if I hadn't got Jimmy here. Jimmy is here with me, he gallops with me 7 days a week. He'll do the dogs when I'm not here. He'll go out the road and he'll walk, he does everything for me. Like Jimmy was half the battle.
Billy is talking about this regime where he's walking the dogs and the miles he's putting the dogs. Now I know you do a lot of the walking with Billy. Is it true that he's doing 8, 9 and 10 miles a day with the dogs?
Yes, we were doing 8.7 miles each day. Some weeks we do it 7 days a week.
Right.
With the dog. The dog was getting very fit with us.
And you were probably here every day with Billy, were you?
Every day, 7 days a week I was here, yeah.
And you done the walking, the cleaning out?
Yeah, Billy'd be working days like, and he'd be under pressure, and I'd have to be here every morning and get out the dogs and do the 8.5 miles with 8.7 miles with the.
And tell me this now, has he supplied you with a new pair of boots? You surely have a pair wore out.
To be honest with you, I'd have to wear now 2 pairs of boots, to be honest with you, yeah. From what walking we done, we actually got about 150 or 160 miles walking with the dog before we start back galloping on
for the Limerick, looking at him for Limerick. And you were involved with the galloping as well. You went out galloping with Billy, and
yeah, every time you gallop the dog I was with him out in Cods. Sometimes we galloped the 7 days.
Galloped him 7 days in the week?
7 days of the week, yes.
So, like, I mean, obviously when it came to the Irish Cup, and it was evident in the final when he ran away so well that the fitness was there. So
the fitness there, we knew that ourselves, that we have a great chance for going down here now. We done our homework with the dog, and we knew the dog was very fit. We had him that way between the walking that we done on the roads with him and the galloping.
But I suppose really the thing about it is then, if you want to have a coursing dog, you have to be prepared to get out on the road, get out early and put in the effort.
True.
And that's what it's all about.
And that's what we done.
And you'll get out of it, I suppose, what you put into it.
We got the result, what we put into him, we got the result out and improved it. Yes.
So what have you to look forward to next year? Doing the same again?
Doing the same again, yeah.
Will you have the same appetite for it next year?
Oh, we will, yeah. We definitely will after this year. It was his first coursing dog. and it was absolutely brilliant. Like,
Great atmosphere in Limerick on the Sunday.
absolutely brilliant, brilliant.
I'm joined here with Christy Murphy, it's chairman of Enniscorthy Greyhound Racing Company and former executive of the Irish Coursing Club. Christy, we're here tonight to celebrate Carricktobin Lad's great victory in the Irish Cup. You're a long-time supporter of coursing and involvement in coursing. What would this victory mean for coursing in the county of Wexford?
It's a tremendous victory for Wexford and particularly for the South East, because not only did we South East win the Irish Cup with Billy Keogh's dog, but we also won the Derby with Denny Lennon's dog, and the Oaks bitch was bred in Mooncoin, and the Cod family had 2 dogs in the final of the consolation in Derby and Clonmel. So the whole lot, it's a tremendous boost for the South East and for Wexford in particular to win an Irish Cup. You know, it is the prestigious event for all age dogs in Ireland, and it's a great for Billy, because it proves that the small man has a chance.
He was a fantastic performer over the weekend. You know, I thought all the way through he ran really well, lined up his hair brilliantly, explosive from slips, and he was fresh as a daisy after every course. And on the final day, I mean, he showed his true colours. You know, he bet a Champion Stakes winner to get into the quarter-final. He bet an Irish Cup winner in the quarter-final. And he was a very convincing winner of the semi-final and final. I'd also seen him run in Waterford this year, and for me, he was probably the best coursing dog I've seen run this year. I couldn't.
We're looking, John, at this stage with him that it was 10 runs this year and 10 flags. He has to be in the running for Dog of the Year.
Yeah, I think certainly he's a very strong contender. He was a most convincing winner of the Cup in Waterford, runaway winner of every course in that, setting very fast clocks. And in the Irish Cup, he was a very convincing winner of all his courses. He got a very heavy fall in the second round, and he overcame that and ran a brilliant dog on the last day. Fantastic job to line up his hair, huge, big, long, galloping dog. And, you know, I think he was fantastic.
What would you think it means to Wexford for coursing in Wexford and for the South East, this kind of victory?
Yeah, it's great for Wexford, Dan, and the South East, because it's great for a small man to win any big stake, especially the Irish Cup running in Clonmel. And it's just the way the dog won it. He won his Cup in Waterford. Seen him run there, very fast dog. He had a few injuries then. They didn't rush him. They were to go to 7 houses. They took their time. They went to the Irish Cup. They got the reward. He ran smashing from start to finish and deserved to win in a big way, you know.
Yeah, and I suppose he was lucky this year. He had his 10 runs, his 10 flags, 100% record. It's not always that way with coursing dogs.
No, it's not always that way, and especially for the lads, it's the first ever coursing dog. There's a big difference between a track dog and a coursing dog, and it takes a lot of work and a lot of time, and they put the time into it, and they got their just reward and winning the Irish Cup there on Sunday. But it's great for them, and it's great for coursing in general. Gives a small man a big chance, and it's much leveler playing field now for coursing throughout the country the last 2 years. And it's just great to see a small man win, and delight for Bill and all his connections, especially his handler as well. They did a great weekend of it, you know.
Just a tremendous boost for coursing to see a small man come in, buy a dog. I believe he bought him to win his local duffer in Enniscorthy, and comes on and wins 80,000 Irish Cup. A tremendous dog, ran super through the Irish Cup, beat all the big guns the whole way through. So it just proves that any man can win with a coursing dog. You know, the game is never better. When you see like this dog coming on, Carricktobin Lad won in Waterford, won the Irish Cup, 80,000, amassed about 82,500 this year. So super.
We're just talking about it there. This season, I think 10 courses between Waterford and the Irish Cup, 10 courses, 10 flags. Surely in line for a nomination at least for Dog of the Year?
Should be, without a doubt. He was asked to be done, he can do no more. He done it all.
And it certainly should be a boost to maybe the enthusiasts. We've a lot of lads here down around the southeast involved with track dogs. Maybe it might be a little bit of encouragement for them to go and take out a coursing dog, buy maybe a second season, or even maybe go and buy a pup.
Exactly, because it's not rocket science. Anybody, if you can train a track dog, you can train a coursing dog. A lot of dogs start off their careers as pups or the Derby Trial Stakes, and they don't seem to come through, but the likes of this dog did come through, so many more can come through, you know. Any man who has a dog this year, he'll get heart and keep maybe the next year and course him on.
I suppose we're looking at throughout the country, and all age cups on most coursing fields now are down to 16. It would be great to see them going back to 32s. In years gone by, it would be no problem getting 32 for all ages, so maybe we might see a return to that.
The all age was always the pinnacle of a coursing meeting. It was a 32, so it was. You'd have maybe 16 bitches, 16 dogs, or maybe more dogs than bitches, but they've gone back to 16 because of a lack of entries. And it'd be great to see more of them come back, because coursing needs all ages. You need 8 good dogs in the Champions Stakes in Clonmel, or 16, which it was this year, and that's the pinnacle of your coursing, to have the top dogs.